I found a pregnancy test in my boyfriend's backpack, and I wasn't pregnant. I was looking for Damon's phone charger because mine died and I knew he had like 3 of them floating around in his stuff. We've been together for almost 2 years, living in my apartment that I pay for because he's been between jobs. Yeah, I know. I can already hear the comments. Anyway, I'm digging through his backpack looking for this stupid charger, and my hand hits something in the side pocket. I pull it out and it's a pregnancy test. A positive pregnancy test. I literally stood there holding this thing for like 5 full minutes trying to make sense of it. I haven't taken a pregnancy test in months. I'm on birth control. This isn't mine. The packaging was recent, you could tell it wasn't some old thing. My brain was doing backflips trying to figure out what the hell I was looking at. When Damon got home from the gym, I was sitting on the couch with this test on the coffee table in front of me. I didn't even know how to start the conversation, so I just pointed at it and asked him what it was doing in his backpack. He barely glanced at it before saying it was his sister Alicia's, and she'd asked him to hold on to it for her because she didn't want their mom finding it at her place. She lives with their parents still, so I guess that made sense. But also it felt weird because why would she give it to him to hold instead of just throwing it away literally anywhere else? He was acting totally normal about it. Like this was the most obvious explanation in the world. Said Alicia had been scared and took the test at work, then asked if he could keep it until she figured out what to do. I asked why she wouldn't just toss it in a public bathroom trash can, and he got kind of defensive, saying I was making a big deal out of nothing and his sister trusted him. The way he said it made me feel like I was being paranoid for even questioning it. But here's the thing. Something felt off. Like that feeling in your gut when someone's lying but you can't quite put your finger on why. Damon kept saying I was overreacting, that it was just his sister being careful. And then he changed the subject to what we were having for dinner. Just moved right past it like we'd been discussing the weather. I waited until he went to take a shower that night and I called Alicia. My hands were actually shaking when I dialed because part of me felt crazy for not just believing him, but I had to know. When she picked up, I tried to sound casual, asked how she was doing, made small talk for a minute. Then I just came out with it. Told her I'd found something of hers that Damon had been holding for her and wanted to make sure she was okay. She had no idea what I was talking about. None. I could hear the genuine confusion in her voice when she asked what I meant. So I told her about the pregnancy test, and there was this long silence before she said she definitely wasn't pregnant, hadn't taken any test, and had no clue why her brother would say that. She actually laughed a little, like she thought maybe this was some weird joke, and said she's been single for like 6 months and definitely hasn't needed to take any pregnancy tests. I thanked her and hung up before she could ask more questions because I needed to think. Damon was still in the shower, and I was sitting there realizing he just lied straight to my face with the most believable story, and I'd almost fallen for it. When he got out, I didn't say anything. I acted completely normal the rest of the night because I didn't know what else to do. My mind was racing, but I needed to figure out what was actually going on before I confronted him again. Something was seriously wrong, and I was not about to let him gaslight me into thinking I was crazy. The next day, while he was out, I went through his phone records on our shared account. Yeah, I know some people will say that's a privacy violation, but honestly, at that point, I didn't care. I needed answers, and he'd already proven he'd lie to me.